WeWork has had to reshuffle its grand plan several times these past few years. Before the original IPO plans, it was about expansion at all costs, really. The company was predicting a revolution in flexible working. Despite SoftBank investing billions of dollars, it was already burning through cash. Then came COVID. Working from home became the new trend. WeWork closed more than 100 locations. The company is still losing money. The hope is that this SPAC deal can be a turning point. Eliot Brown is a reporter at the Wall Street Journal and co-author of The Cult of WeWork, Adam Newman, and the Great Startup Delusion. Take us through this then. What actually went wrong last time?
Oh, so much. So WeWork was the country's most valuable startup, and the way they did that and got to this $47 billion valuation was by convincing the investment world very successfully that they were this disruptive tech company, when in reality, I think eventually everyone realized it was just a real estate leasing company that lost a dollar for every dollar of revenue it took in. So they were losing billions of dollars when sort of the investment world woke up in 2019 to that this was far less of a brilliant tech investment than they thought. So it was all about convincing investors to see something different.
There was also this governance issue, really, wasn't it? The CEO having so many voting rights, he had too much control effectively over the direction of the company in investors' eyes.
Yeah, it was what I think is sort of termed artfully as a corporate governance dumpster fire. So Adam Newman, the CEO, had borrowed hundreds of millions of dollars against his stock from banks working on the IPO. He sold the trademark to the word "we" to the company. So he personally sort of was stood to profit off the word "we." He was leasing properties to the company. He really had the sense that he was sort of above the norms of corporate America and should be able to do as he wished, because WeWork was so great and so inevitably growing toward this tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars of value future.
He's still got about 11% of voting power, hasn't he? But there's a new CEO. He's obviously impressed investors ahead of this deal. What's he done differently then to turn things around for the company?
It's certainly a more sober approach. So there's less tequila, there's fewer private jets. Adam Newman really brought WeWork to prominence by convincing people it was part of the sharing economy or a social network, a physical social network. The current CEO is actually from real estate and has acknowledged, sort of even embraced the reality that they are in the office space subleasing business. So they've cut out a lot of things. They no longer own a company that makes wave pools where people can surf in the middle of the country, and they aren't trying to buy Sweet Green or Lyft. These were ideas that Adam Newman had. So it's a much more sort of focused approach on, we will lease some office space from one landlord, make it cool, and sublease it in a shorter term duration to companies that want to lease the space.
There is some concern, though, isn't there, about the SPAC deal, because various people have talked about the lack of scrutiny that the company will have under this deal as opposed to the previous deal. It can make bigger predictions than it could have done as a traditional IPO. Just explain some of the issues there might be with the SPAC deal, which we wouldn't have had with an IPO.
Yeah, and this is super pervasive in the SPAC world. So if you're doing an IPO, you have to talk about the past. You can't talk about the future. You can sort of say, hey, we hope to do great things, but you can't say, here's what we plan to do for profits. But with SPACs, you're kind of allowed to do that. And so WeWork, as everyone else, paints this picture of profits rushing in by the billions in the out years. Who knows? Like, I think generally these things are considered, but by all these companies, are considered to be quite optimistic. WeWork has already had to revise down its targets just since they first announced the SPAC. And that's sort of related to Delta and the slow recovery of COVID. So what they're doing is painting a picture to investors of how things are going to be great in the future, even though, like today, we still lose a lot of money and our offices are really pretty empty because of COVID.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We'll see how it all plays out. Thank you very much indeed, Eliot Brown.